Alright, hola, bienvenidos, welcome and welcome back. So today I'm just doing checks. It's a Monday, trying to take it easy unless something comes in. We're still in the middle of our heat wave, but it is calming down a little bit as far as like, because before it was like hot from like really like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning to late at night. Even at midnight, we would get mid-90s at midnight. So now we're getting more of a breeze in the mornings. Right now it's the morning. It's like 10:30 or so. Still kind of okay. It doesn't get hot until like 2 to 4. Those are like the really like where you should watch out when you're outside, because it's over 110. So I'm gonna do this video real quick to help anybody else that it could help with a simple setup. I do have other videos on maintenance. So Brian, you know, congrats. I know he got a new job and he's starting out and he wants to know more about like a maintenance setup, a simple setup. So what I used to do was I had a MB3. So I would recommend an MB3. If you want to go smaller, you can go MB2, but MB2, as far as Veto's, it's more of a, you know, a meter, maybe a drill, but a meter, a screwdriver, and a few hand tools, like 3 or 4 hand tools. So that one is good if you want to light load. And then MB3 is where you can carry like probes or like stubbies, things like that. An actual drill can fit in there, like a Milwaukee Impact. And then yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do this video if it helps anybody else out, you know, I can answer him, and if anybody else comes across this, it can be helpful for them. So right now I'm doing checks, and I'll go over a little bit about maintenance, but if you really want to know more about what I do on maintenance, I will link. I think I have like 2 videos on maintenance. One is my maintenance loadout, and another one is like me doing maintenance for locations, because like we have chains where we do, like, one is 20 stores, the other one is probably 20 something stores, and we're going to do maintenance for them too. So there's a whole setup there. And I do everything through Hvacr. If you guys want to check out the link in the description, get you some awesome software that does everything for you, can help you schedule and maintain and just be super efficient. You know, go check out Hvacr for you guys that do either work on the weekend, you're starting up your business, or you've been doing it for a while. That's always really helpful to have a good CRM. So let me show you real quick what I'm going to reach for. So what I'm going to grab is this CP4, right? It's a Veto. I really love this bag for maintenance. Don't mind the mess. I had a change out the other day. And then, but this is really like for the bare minimum. Like I said, I would really recommend an MB3 to fit everything. So I'm going to take out some of the unique stuff that's particular to me. So my Hvacr multimeter, my electric screwdriver. So we have a bunch of hand tools in here. That's kind of just a catch-all. You just drop it in and do it like that. We're going to grab a meter. So this is the one I would recommend. SC480. I mean, the number changes, but it's the middle tier. There's the low end, which is a little smaller, but it doesn't do as much. This one does everything you could basically need on the maintenance, on troubleshooting, anything like that. And then there's the bigger version. See, this one fits in here pretty good. There's the bigger version that I keep over here, which is a swivel amp clamp, the double readings. Does a lot of stuff, or it does everything where I don't want to compromise. I always carry that one. But on a simple check, maintenance, you just need something like this. And this one can even check phase rotation, you know, microfarads. It has a non-contact voltage if you want to check just to see if something's live or not, which I would always recommend double checking and making sure that you don't have any voltage, because it could be low voltage or something like that. So that does fit in there, and then everything else is hand tools, right? So let's go up on the roof, and then for checking pressures on this one, like I would have a probe set in this one, and I'll show you that in the MB3, but for something like this, I just have analog stubbies, thermometer, multi-tool knife, And let's go up on the roof. Also, if you guys are doing maintenance where your restaurant or place of business is in a strip mall, there's always going to be gutters. Now this one's built really well. It hasn't broken, it hasn't done anything. Like there's walls, right? I can't get on anywhere else because that would be a super high, that would be super high to get over. So I have to get on through the back. They do have a ladder over there, but like what's the point? That's at the very end. My unit's right here. I can just set up right here. There is a gutter, and this is a lockjaw ladder grip. So I do a lot of commercial buildings that are in strip malls, and this is coming very handy because I'm going to be putting my ladder on the gutter anyway. And this makes sure, like right now it's getting windy, that my ladder doesn't fall off. All right guys, so like with this, I'm just doing some simple checks. Are the compressors on? Are the fans on? Is there anything looks weird? I did notice the drain was broken, so we'll fix that next time. Or I'll see if I have a fitting for it. And then we're just gonna check the temperature of the supply. They had it set to 76, so I mean like it's gonna feel stuffy. I lowered it. Check the supply. Both compressors are on. So both are on, both are sweating. I'm gonna look at the alarms real quick. This is a Prodigy unit. So the only thing I'm getting is alarming outdoor temp, which, like I said, we're in the middle of a heat wave, guys, so they're gonna get weird. We're gonna get some weird or oddly high temperatures, but they're both jumped out anyway, like a lot of these units I find are. So it's gonna be running at full capacity anyway. And if we go in here, yeah, they might need to tighten up that belt. We'll try and fix that drain. And then it looks like they've had quite a bit of leak repairs. So shut that off real quick. I think you can see better over here. So this belt is a little loose, but look at all the repairs. So that's, you know, that's them digging out. It wasn't us. I've never done this. At least this unit. The repairs there are, you know, they dig it out, find a leak, patch it up. So it's had some major ones. I mean, I don't know, maybe they were digging around and looking. Maybe they only patched up a few. Up here, you can also tell they've had to patch up and either cut out the line maybe. There's a lot of soldering going on up here. Obviously in a dryer. So a lot of leak repairs, but right now they're both sweating, running good temp. I don't think I need to gauge up on this one in particular. So this one I believe is adjusted through here. And loosening these. All right, and we got a little shade. I can kind of show you what I got going on in the bag. As far as what I think you can carry, right? You're gonna have some tape. On the outside, I got a little measuring tape that's clipped on, like a mini one. So obviously you need a meter. Like I said, this one fits perfect. It's the middle size from the ones that they have. They have 3 sizes. Some sort of multi screwdriver. I'll show you a different version. You can also use like a ratcheting one from Klein. If you go to Harbor Freight, if you want to save a little cash, they have a Doyle brand. It's basically a Klein ratcheting screwdriver. Exactly the same. You can even switch out the insert. Now this one is a special one for this one in particular because the handle itself is also a nut driver. But if you have any of the other multi-tool Kleins, like if you have an HVAC one, you can put it in the Doyle or the Klein ratcheting one and it'll work just the same in case you want to switch out the insert. So this one is like a multi one, right? Like I said, that's a nut driver as well. There's I put a DeWalt here. So a flip socket is always good to have. It saves you space. You got 5/16 and 1/4 inch. Now, if you go with something like this, like a multi-Klein, multi-whatever, you can also get other things, right? You got the flat, I have a Phillips, I have a 3/8, and all that is in here, and it saves space in my bag. I've always loved multi-tools. Some side cutters to cut zip ties, things like that. You're gonna, when you're diagnosing or trying to trace wires, you're gonna be cutting a lot of zip ties, and you don't want to be cutting the wires, so this is really easy to get in there and cut those zip ties. You got a multi-tool wire stripper. Like I said, I love multi-tool, so this one is Husky. You can get a Klein one. I have a Klein one in my other bag, but it's a multi-tool. It's a needle nose. This one also reams, and then it's a crimper down here, which if you get a crimper, they're all basically the same, but that one's a good one. Any kind of wire stripper that has other functions, I highly recommend. Something to grab stuff with. I have these channel locks. These are a Doyle Harbor Freight brand, so that's in there. Of course, you always need zip ties. I use these little cable clicks from Home Depot for everything, so that holds my zip ties together so that they're not falling around in the bag, fumbling around. If you do refrigeration, you could use a brush. I don't know if you're just doing AC work, you're not gonna really need that, but this saves me a lot brushing out condensers. And then just a bag of like straighters. You're gonna be changing a lot of straighterer cores. Caps are very important because if you're missing caps, you're gonna have some leaks there. So having some caps with gaskets, preferably these brass ones, are good. And then I have some sockets, I believe. These are just things like extensions and Allen keys. So I have those for my ratchet, which I'll show you right now. But those are just Allen keys. Basically, you're going to need Allen keys for pulleys, fan motors. You know, a lot of adjustments require Allen keys. Back here, refrigeration ratchet for pump downs. Opening valves, especially on refrigeration side. You have a lot of king valves and things of that nature, service valves where you have to open up the stem. Adjustable wrenches. Right now I'm probably going to be using that to open these, preferably two. It's always good to have two wrenches. And then here's my Klein electrician's ratchet. Highly recommend. It's easy to get into tight spaces because it's a 1/4 inch and 5/16. And then this can take a socket too, which I don't even know if it's in here. All right, so I did a few change outs and I've lost a lot of tools along the way this past couple weeks, but if you get, like I was saying, a socket set, right? So I have a whole set. In this one, I have the DeWalt ones that go up to a 1/2 inch, I believe, but I can't find it right now. The little flip sockets that are like this. I have a DeWalt one that goes up to 1/2 inch and 7/16, I believe. But if anything, like I said, sockets will work. You just get this little adapter that fits the socket that you have, and this can go in your impact, right? Or it can go into the Klein ratchet that I love so much. You can do it that way. In case you want to downsize, because, you know, having a full set of wrenches, you know, I have a bunch of them in this bag because it can fit. Then I told you guys to get the all-in-one wrenches, but even then they're kind of big still, right? So if you just want to downsize, you can get some sockets and then use your Klein mini ratchet, which like comes in so clutch a lot of the times. But like, yeah, do this. You can go in the impact for like compressors. That's how I take out my compressor bolts, and then you can put it in here if you need to do any adjustments on your fan motors, stuff like that. And then also don't forget, you need a hollow 11/32. So fan motors, whether you do refrigeration or commercial HVAC, they still use 11/32, and sometimes you need that extra depth inside the hollow. It can't be magnetic. We got stubbies. If you don't want to get the probes, field piece probes, those are better if you want to check everything superheats up, cool, just hook up and have it do it for you. But if not, pressures, if you're just checking pressures, you want to make sure you're flat or you got pressure, it should be on. Maybe something tripped. And then we got, like I said, the Allen key set. I like having these. These have been good for me. The other ones that are individual, I always end up losing them or losing sizes. So we got that. A good little mini flashlight. And then I have a knife, which is a multi-tool. This is a Leatherman sent over by Zoomlock. And that's about it for this. I got my little door jamb on the side. If you guys do commercial or you get locked out a lot, these are really cool. Keeps the door from closing, the little latch. And then I almost forgot, because I have it over here, is a thermostat screwdriver. Mine got in the way of a torch. So thermostat screwdriver for thermostats, obviously. Little boards, you know, connections on boards. You got a marker if you want. You need to mark, you know, your filters, any repairs that you've done or times that you've gone out there, you know, date it. And then little wire connectors that you might need to repair wiring with. When you go out on maintenance, you're going to be also checking for bad contactors, things like that, bad wiring. So you want to be able to do wire repairs. Have some wire nuts, wire connectors, and a jumper, just in case something's not coming on, you can jump it out. A few other things that I don't have in that bag, but I would carry in like an everyday bag. That would be helpful. Stubby comes in handy a lot, which I'm missing so many pieces right now. I need to go through my bags. A stubby, I usually have, actually have two, but just one is good. Stubby. I use a pillbox for all the wire connectors or the different kinds that we have, you know, different kinds of repairs you might need to do, wire nuts, like I said, caps and shredder cores. And then an infrared is good. I mean, you're going to be usually checking a temp split on an RTU at the unit on the roof. If you do it in a residential system, you're going to be doing it in the duct. But if you just need to go around and check vents and, you know, supply and return vents, this is really good. This is also a good one to show customers that their air conditioning is working, because it might take a while to cool the building. But if you go and show them that the vent's like 50, 60 degrees, they're going to be like, oh, okay, it is working. You can use this one from Klein. It's like 50 bucks, I believe. I broke mine. It does have the benefit of this is it's a 2-in-1 that has a probe, whereas, you know, you wouldn't probably need a separate one. You can use this one for checking the, like I said, the duct or on the supply return at the unit. Or you can use the infrared to check the vents, you know, when you're downstairs and you don't want to get a ladder to get up there. You can buy something like this for 50 bucks, or you can get like a gun style one. You can find them at Harbor Freight pretty cheap. I also have everything, like I said, linked in my description, the tool link. I think there's one like 20 bucks on Amazon. I have linked there that I also use. So that's good for that. And then for, you know, you're going to be changing and tightening belts a lot if you're dealing with package units. So these have been a lifesaver. These are 8 different sizes and these 2 wrenches. So it made light work of something like this where I can tighten the belt, you know. So on the outside, I was able to tighten it here. That goes up to 3/4. And then this one should be, actually it's a half, right? Yeah. So now I can tighten up all the other stuff that I loosened. Usually you have to loosen the motor or the frame that it's sitting on, and then find the adjustment bolt, which on this one it's these two. And now we can tighten the motor back down, and it makes it super simple. So I highly recommend some of these kinds of multi-size wrenches. So like I said, light work. And I don't have to carry a whole bunch, right? It's just these two. So we got, get you a good light. I love this style of switchblade lights. You can get this one at Harbor Freight. Really good, really bright, lasts a long time. It's rechargeable. I really like this DeWalt measuring tape. I don't have to usually, you know, measure too far. I'm usually measuring gaskets, doors, filters, you know, things like that. This one's magnetic, so you can store it, and it has a clip too, so I usually just clip it on there. If you're doing filters, we don't do filters for commercial accounts. They usually hire their own. They either change them themselves or they hire a filter company that just comes and puts them in, and they're super cheap. So if you're doing filters though, make sure you write the date on the filter, and then maybe initial it. I like to initial it, but write the date on the filter, and then write out the sizes out here. It's what we used to do, is write out the sizes and how many. That way, for whatever reason, one of us doesn't have the notes with them or anything like that, whoever comes out to do the maintenance can actually read it, maybe go get them, pick them up, and finish that job instead of having to measure and all that. So yeah, that's good. Somebody asked me about the level. This is Sanug. I don't know how to say it. It's off Amazon. I got it because it was magnetic. So if I need to check anything, like refrigeration, like ice machines, I was checking a drain on a previous video that the unit was like lopsided. So that's really cool. It also has the clip. So for storage, I also put it on one of the measuring tape clips. Squeegee, even though I do commercial, a lot of the installation on panels comes off, and we have to put tape, like silver tape, and then squeegee it out. That way that insulation doesn't get sucked up by the blower motor. So I have that on me. Core remover tool. Obviously, if your Schrader cores are leaking, you need to fix them on the fly. You can cap them off, but if you want to actually replace them, you need that. Recently just got this. I gave in. I have been seeing it for a long time. I never bought one, but it's a knife. You know, we need a knife for a lot of things. Yeah, you know, you're cutting up a lot of stuff, weird stuff. You know, I've had to cut like sheetrock, ceiling tiles, insulation. You know, that's what I use this one for. But it's also a scraper, so I thought that was kind of cool. So if I ever have to scrape anything off, which a lot of times I do, like I said, a lot of cleaning, a lot of kind of makeshift adjustments and fixes that we have to do on the fly, got a little scraper. So I thought that was kind of cool. This is from Lowe's. It's the Tough Belt. So I get to carry that there. I think this goes over here. And yeah, I think that's it for maintenance. We're just gonna make sure this is temping good and get out of here. Do get into troubleshooting or anything like that, diagnosing. I recently got this. You don't need a tablet. I just got it because I wanted a bigger screen, but something like the TP lineup, you know, whether you get the TPLC, the smallest one, the XL or the double XL, they all have this back pocket. And that's why I recommend the MB3 over the MB2, because it also has this back pocket, where if you need to do quick checks, or if you're required maybe to do what do you call it, like you need to fill in a form, you know, with your pressures and temperatures, you can have your clamps and your probes if you want. I have my probes inside. Clamps and probes, that way you can check your pressures, and then superheat, subcool, your line temperatures. Like I said, I carry mine over here, so I have the two probes also, and I have a little low loss fitting on the high side, just in case for that 410. If I'm hooking up when it's like running. And then over here, like I said, more so for troubleshooting, I have a popper, right? So this one is a 5 amp resettable fuse if you need to hunt for a low short volt issue. And then I don't have my psychrometer, but I have a psychrometer in here too. I left it in the front of the van because I was using it. So there's a psychrometer if I need outside air temperature. If I'm checking a charge, sometimes I want outside air temperature, whether that's you check it just ambient or you check the leaving condenser temperature. That's a good way to check stuff. If you guys need to hang up your tools where you don't want them on the floor, get my magnet. It's in my tool link. I have the rubber magnet linked, and then the pieces that you need to make this, and it can hold any bag. It's a 100-pound magnet, right? It can even hold my install backpack. So if I want this off the ground, bam, right? That's a almost 30-pound bag, right? Holds it real easy off the ground. All right, and you're also gonna be doing a lot of coil cleaning, right? A lot of coil cleaning, drain cleaning. That I have not been able to figure out, right? That little foam cannon that doesn't require any hose or anything. So, you know, take that as you will. The venom packs in the back, those are great for storage because they're bags. They're not the big gallon jugs, and I've had good luck with them. They stay over there. There's 3 bags in there. Like I said, I have not had good luck with that foam cannon. I'll show you the other one. I know they don't last forever, but I love expandable hoses. They're a dime a dozen at Home Depot. I have a 100-foot and a 50-foot. I usually connect them together if it's a little far. Now these are horrible if you have low or bad water pressure. So I always have a backup. Now you can have a regular hose as a backup, but I have 100 feet in this flat hose. I really like flat hoses. It's still 100 feet no matter what, right? It's gonna, if you lay it out even without water in it, it's 100 feet. These expand to whatever they say they are, but at full pressure. So these are good to have as a backup because it's 100 feet no matter what, and it's super light. An umbrella is good to have, man. Not it doesn't have to be the Subco one. That's just, you know, the convenient one with the magnet. Any umbrella is good if you're gonna be out there working for a while. This is the PM pack out. So this is the other thing that I take with me when I do maintenance. So if we open this one up, now it's gonna have a pressure washer. That's what I use for when I do kitchen work. You might not need it. It's good to have if you don't have water access because you can siphon out water from the bucket or from the pack out. So that's what that is, and all the attachments that I have for it. Blower is good to blow out any dust in any of the electrical cabinets, panels. So that's why I pack my blower in here. It's also good to blow out microchannels. Once you water them down or hose them down and clean them, there's going to be stuff stuck in there because they're so small and compact, so you need to blow them out. Or you're going to get a high head pressure from the water being stuck in there. And my CP4 came with some little pouches. So in here I keep the one for the foam cannon. I got this from Walmart. It's just a simple on and off thing, but it's real easy. It stays on and I can flick it on and off. The other piece of the foam cannon's in there too. And then in my bin I have, you know, gases and liquids to keep them upright. But I keep it uniform. So I have the Refrigeration Technologies Viper packs, and I also have their foam cannon. So this actually fits in the pack out. That's why I really like this pack out. So I can take everything out and take my expandable hoses in here if I'm just doing that with the foam cannon, or I can have my pressure washer and everything else in here if I'm doing it that route. And then to clear out drains, I used to use my nitrogen tank with something like a Subco Jones valve, right? You hook up a hose directly to it and you can point the direction. You just have to cut the drain line, insert this. You're supposed to leave it in permanently if you want to, but I use it as a tool. I put it in, clear it out, and then put a coupling to close it. I recently got one of these. I lent mine out. I lost the pieces, so I went and got another one. This is just a CO2 gun. You just buy the cartridges. I have a whole pack up there, and this is really easy, but it's, you know, it's small. It only does a decent job, but it's pretty good. It clears out most drains. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that helped Brian. I tried to cover as much as I could from the perspective of like maintenance with some repairs here and there, because when you do maintenance, you're gonna do a little bit of repairs. Stay safe. I'm wearing these glasses. They're also from Toro because they laid out some fiberglass insulation in the ceiling, and I had to open up some vents because all of them had like manual dampers, and they had closed Like a lot of the back ones in the back were hot where the thermostat is. So just didn't want it to get in my eyes because it was dropping everywhere. So safety glasses, right? I prefer these Toro ones. I use their sunglasses, which are amazing. If you're working on white roofs, their C4 blackouts are really awesome. So let's switch that over, right? This blocks out everything. White roofs are a headache. They give me headaches, real bad ones. I saw Ryan said that it makes him sneeze and stuff on those bright roofs. So, you know, a good pair of sunglasses. They also have the mirror ones, and they also have lighter tint ones if you don't like these. But these block out basically just the UV rays, right? They're not super dark, because I've had some cheap ones that they just they go black. You can't see anything. I can actually see with these. They're tinted really well, or extra tinted. So stay safe with sunglasses. Make sure you have a sun hat. I managed to lose mine. I don't know where the hell it is. I was dead tired on Friday and I misplaced it. So sun hat with a cape. If not, get a gaiter that is like a jersey material, dry fit material. This one's by Mission. Arm sleeves or long sleeves. With the humidity down here, I cannot wear long sleeves because people are like, why don't you wear long sleeve shirts? I can't. Like I feel like I'm gonna hyperventilate with all the heat that my body traps in there. So these are arm sleeves by SA Fishing. I have these, I have everything linked in my description, in my tool link, even the safety stuff. These are breathable and I can remove them. Right now I'm in the van, I can take them off and not feel, too hot or anything. I can just take them off. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna try and do this more often where I answer your questions through a video, right? That way I can actually show you what I'm talking about. You can visualize it and see it for yourself instead of me just, I try to answer all the questions in the comments as best I can, but sometimes it's too long to write out, so I can just make a video on it. So hopefully this is helpful for anybody in maintenance or that's new out there to troubleshooting, diagnosing, because this kind of setup can go for both. A lot of the troubleshooting aspect is also making sure you have good airflow. Like on this one, I forgot to mention that one of our guys is out there late Friday, so he just did what he could visually, and he cleaned up that evaporator coil because it was dirty. So just making sure you have good airflow, all your coils are clean. So that's where my PM pack out, I do it for maintenance, but I also do it to make sure if I'm having a high head pressure or something like that, that it's not actually just a dirty coil. So I will pull out the PM pack out during my diagnosing if I need to. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help the channel out. Channel memberships are out there. I appreciate all the channel members that I do have. Helps with everything that I have to do behind the scenes, stuff that I have to buy, send out, giveaways, things like that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try and get to them. I always try and answer as quickly as I can when I see them, but if anything, like I said, I'll try and do more videos to help you guys out. And stay safe out there. We're having a weird year with the weather. Texas and the surrounding areas are really feeling it right now. We're like the hottest areas on the planet. I think they said Texas is hotter, or that area. I think there's some neighboring states that also have it. We're the hottest area, or we're hotter than 99% of the world, which is pretty insane if you think about it. But they're comparing our weather to the desert. But the thing is, we have high humidity, so even at night it's 95 degrees out, 92 degrees out. It's crazy. So hopefully it dwindles down a little bit. We can get back into normal weather, normal heat. And like I said, stay safe out there, stay hydrated, cover up, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys.